Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, today I'm going to be talking about why achieving only 30% of your goal is enough to build what you want to do. Now, this video, as a disclaimer, is not for you if you're in it for quick success or if you're just in it for achieving, what you want and, not really going through the process of building something formidable. This is for someone who wants to build something long term, who wants to build something which is akin to an empire. So that's what we're going to be getting into. So, what do I mean when I say that only 30% of the goal is enough? Now, does that mean that you sell yourself short? Does that mean that you do not, you know, give your all to what you're doing? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that we need to understand the anatomy of a goal to actually gauge whether we achieved what we wanted or not in the first place. Because a goal is never actually about achieving the goal. It's generally to do with the dismantling of that which is stopping you from seeing the higher self inside of you, which has already achieved that goal. The higher self inside of you already is one with the goal. Like when you see a certain something in the faraway horizon, the horizon only exists because you are in the third dimension. The higher self of yours is not in that dimension. Anything about the fourth and the fifth dimension, they don't exist within that reality. So for in that reality, the thing which you see on the horizon, which is your goal, is already one with you, is already intertwined with you in a homogeneous space. So the act of going after a goal is actually not about achieving the goal, but about kind of removing all the obstacles that come in the way so that you birth the higher part of yourself into the lower realms or the more denser realms. I don't want to say lower because it sounds strange. I'd rather say denser, right? The dimension is more denser, it's more solid, it's more solid and more stable than your fifth dimension, which is more ethereal and a little bit more mobile, and you can say intangible if that's what you resonate with. So, how do we go about this? Now, you need to understand what happens when you set a goal. Now, whether it's a business goal or whether it's a, it's it's something to do with your career or it's something to do with which you don't know what to do. For example, like I said, so many guitar goals and music related goals. I do short-term goals, I do long-term goals. Now I do business goals as well. So with all of these goals, what I'm actually looking at is number one, I'm going to run you through a few steps to do this. Number one that you need to look at is precision. Is that your goal needs to be the shortest thing possible. By that I mean, like, the definition of your goal has to be so short that it can be seen within one frame. Like right now, you're seeing me within a frame, right? It's a certain frame, it's a rectangle. Now, you should be able to see your entirety of the goal inside this one frame. That means that it's not too many things, it's just one thing. Now, if you have too many things, then you need to narrow in on it to a point that you see just the root of it. Now, remember, if you have a really big tree in front of you, and if I ask you to spot the mango, like it's a mango tree, and there's like literally 200 or 300 mangoes in the full tree, and I ask you to spot the mango, the one mango. Now you'll be like, oh, there's too many mangoes. Which one do you want? That means you're not actually seeing it. When when I say spot the mango, it means that you go down from all of those mangoes, go down to the branches that they stem from, go down to the tree trunk, go down to the root, and in the root is the seed. In the seed is the past. In the past was that one mango through which that seed came, and that seed went down, got cemented inside the soil and gave rise to all of this. So that is what I mean by spot the one mango. So here, when you're spotting it, you're going down to the very genesis of where it came from. So when I say set a goal in precision, it means you do this kind of work, you do the backtracking. Like if you want something, you do the backtracking as to where it exactly came from. So, like, for example, like for me, becoming a guitar virtuoso is my single pointed goal. Now, if I look back at it, it comes from the fact, stems from a very perfectionist idea inside of me, that things, that my skill or my service to the world or my expression to the world has to be perfect in a way that is not devoid of mistakes, but perfect in a way that it is a clear representation of exactly what is there inside of me in the fifth dimension, and that to be seen just the way it is in the third dimension. That means there is no density loss. That means there is no there's nothing lost in the process. So for me, that is what precision means, that I'm going for exactly that thing that I want. Now, this could be for you in your business, it could be in you for, it could really be in relationships as well. Because if you have this idea of the perfect relationship, or if you have the idea of what you want to feel in a relationship, if you have this idea of love, that this is what I want to feel, this is what it feels like. Now, if you backtrack it, if you really go into the heart of the matter, all the people who are supposed to give you that vanish, and you only see that quality. You only see that quality of love that you want. You only see the quality of the love. When I say want, when you go so deep, you will not see it as a want. You will see it as like, oh, I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm within this quality. It doesn't matter if it's a person or not. You're within that quality. And now, when you set something like that, something so profound, something so deep, it's the same with even money. You, if something, if something like, I want to become a billionaire, that really matters to me. Matters to me in a very deep level. I mean, people around me might call it superficial. It doesn't matter, but it really matters to me. It really matters to me that I'm filled with abundance. If that is what floats your boat, you need to really go down to the point where you're seeing yourself in that quality. What does it make you feel? What is it that you are experiencing when you're in that space? It's generally not that you're surrounded by cash. It's generally that you're surrounded by a cloud of abundance in which you're floating, in which you're completely taken care of, in which every whim and fancy of yours is able to express itself without having to think of a constraint, which in the human form is called as money. So that is the level to which you need to break it down. If you can break it down to that level, you have number one, you got precision. Now, incisor, what's an incisor? It goes straight to the heart of the matter. Yeah, it's surgical. So when you have this feeling inside of you, when you've tapped into that emotion, when you've become aware of that space inside you, where that where the truth of your dream or of your goal lies, then you go after it like a surgeon. You go straight for that. You forget about all the rest. You just go straight for that. Number three, you cut through it like a knife. You go absolutely straight for that. So now what it does is it cuts off all the shaft. That means it cuts off all the unnecessary things which were there around it, which has a lot to do with social conditioning, has a lot to do with just the realm we're in. I mean, social conditioning is not always bad. It's just that the third dimension is so dense that things are already fragmented. They are already so dispersed and so varied that it's difficult to see exactly what you want. That's the only thing. So it has to just cut through all of that and cut through exactly what you want. Now, the thing is, when you're cutting through all the stuff that you don't want, you realize literally 10% or less of the value is going to be left. Like if you've got a goal, like for me, yeah, like, to go completely all out into music, I lost so much of my life, of the things which I had. I lost just probably most of it, probably 90% of it. Everything changed because I wanted this so badly that I went all out for it. It's the same thing if you're probably going all out to become a billionaire or into your business. There's so many sacrifices that are going to be made. It looks like sacrifice, but it's actually not. It's just removing of all the things that were not as important as was the one most important thing in your life is. So when you're going after exactly that, a lot of things are going to fall down. And for people around, it might look like you're losing. Why? Because for people around, they saw you as this entity with this much earthly density, possession. And when you're going after your goal, you're getting that and you're losing all of this. It's just like a rocket which goes up in the sky. When you see a rocket go up to the sky, it's going after the goal. It's going after the planet that it's trying to hit, right? Or going after the planet that it's trying to land on. So when it's going up, you see so many parts of it just fall off, right? So many things just fall off. In the end, there's only left that one part which needs to go to the which needs to go to the planet, which needs to go to land. So it actually doesn't need all these extra parts. So for an outsider who does not understand the concept of what a rocket is and what its motive is, they will just see it as, oh, the rocket's losing, poor thing. It's lost all of its body, it's lost its external fat, it's lost everything that it had, and it's just left with such little. It looks like that. It's almost a pitiable situation from the outside if someone didn't know what a rocket was and what was its motive. But think about what the rocket itself is feeling. It's feeling so satisfied because it's going exactly where it wants. And the thing is, the more it's unburdening, the more it can see that it can fly even better. It can go exactly for the planet that it's aiming for. Because with all this weight, it could not get its trajectory right. It could not get its orientation right. While losing all this weight is allowing it to go exactly where it wants. So that is why I wanted to say that you are only left with like around 10% or less of your overall value before that, because you only have that which you want, and all the stuff you don't want is kind of gone away. So now that the if you go at it this way, there will come a point where internally you know that you have reached that space. It's just not yet visible outside. Like this happens for a lot of people when they hit their first million. A lot of billionaires keep talking about this all the time, that hitting the first million is the most difficult for all of them. And when they hit that, or like when they're even close to something around that, they know that internally they know they've kind of got it. They have already reached that space of whatever is their goal, the big goal. But people only see it when they accumulate the, big thousands of millions, which may, yeah, the 1,000 million makes a billion, right? People only see it when they accumulate that, and they say, okay, now this guy has it, or now this girl has it. But that's actually not true. For the person internally, they already know a long time ago that they've hit it, because it's happened in the realm of the spirit. It's happened internally. It's just going to take time for that to manifest externally. Now, so when you, even after you feel this internal thing that, yeah, I've kind of hit it, it's not going to look evident outside. So don't get disappointed. Now, that is what I mean by achieving only 30% of your goal is enough. That means internally, if you've achieved this, and slowly, you're seeing that, yeah, I might have internally achieved it, but externally, I only hit maybe 30% of it. Like if my goal was like around 3 million, I've just hardly hit 900,000, and I've already spent all my energy on it. So don't be disappointed because you've actually hit it internally. It's just a matter of time till whatever is the new formation, right? It will branch out, because now you have kind of hit that mango seed which I spoke about. You've got that mango seed. Now this mango seed is a very pure mango seed because it's come from inside of you. It's come from that part of you which is so deeply intertwined with your desire and your very will to live. So it's a very special seed. And now this seed, when it grows, all the branches are going to be pure. All the mangoes that are going to come out of it are going to be pure. So they're all going to have your signature on it. They're all going to be like, this is his or her creation. So it's actually a very special space to be in, even if you're in this 30% achievement of your goal. It's a very special place to be in, because that 30% is completely yours. It's just a matter of time now. It's just a matter of repetition, of cycles, consolidation on top of that to build it up to 100 now. And that one more last point is that when you hit this so-called 30% mark, which I'm talking about, like when 30% of your goal is done, what it does is this 30% is made out of your dreams, is made out of your desires or deeply felt desires. Right now, what it does is, because you've got that up from a higher dimension in you and birthed it into a lower dimension, this act of doing that creates a certain cavity within the dimensional realms. It creates a cavity which creates gravity, creates a cavity which creates gravity for other matter to just get sucked in. It's like a black hole. It's creating a cavity. It's creating a curvature in space and time. Now, it has enough gravity to attract all other matter around it, which is relevant. Now, this is what I mean by attraction. This is where you're going to get and be in a space where the 30% you've created, now the 70% is going to be put in by the other people into your enterprise, your company, your dream, whatever it is. You're going to start attracting it because you have birthed something from the higher realm into a lower realm and have created a cavity. Now, this cavity is, as you know, if you have ever read of or heard of black holes, is that it creates a curvature in space and time. So it's going to attract a lot of matter, no matter how far they are, no matter which so-called country they're in, which is, yeah, on the other part of the earth. It doesn't matter. They're going to come in because they are coming in because of the gravity, because of the cavity that you created. So you're going to attract the other 70%. So look at it this way: 30% of your company you created, 70% is going to come in by investors. It's going to come in from other people. It's going to come in from external help. 70% of your 30% of the goal you did it. 30% is going to 70% is going to come in. So be patient, consolidate on top of what you built. Repetition is key, and consistency. And so that is how you actually understand a goal. You go about doing it and achieving whatever you want, whether it's relationships, business, your personal, what would you put it, skills development, any realm. This is the way you go about it. This is the way it works for me. I wanted to share that, and that's what I've done right now. And if you'd like to know more about what I do, you can send me a DM. You can check out my music website where my business also goes on. My products which I'm affiliated with. How do I keep doing what I do? How do I keep making the music that is true to myself? How am I sustaining myself? How does the business sustain me that I'm associated with? For all these beautiful details, you can check out my website and just hit me a message there, and yeah, I'll be happy to get in touch with you. Till then, see you.